Hey guys, it's Amanda, also known as Amateur Aries. I'm filming this currently unsure whether or not this video will even go up. So if it is up, welcome to the video. And let me tell you a story that I just currently went through last week. Yes, it was last week for me right now. So when this video is up, it's probably like a month since this has happened. But it's true. I'm doing this because it was strange. I never thought something like this would ever happened to me. I watched this on true crime shows. Just last month, Jamie from Wisconsin, she escaped from her kidnappers. So sorry about that. I never expected to ever go through something like this ever in my life, ever. So I feel like I should share it because sometimes people become afraid of helping people. They become shy to it and they run away instead of helping the person, and that could become a critical thing for that person's life you could have saved. And I feel like sometimes when you hear people's stories and how they went through it or coped through it, it gives you a better handling on how to handle the situation. Now I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen to anyone, and I'm not even saying this is going to really, what the story is going to about to be about, really even really happen to this person, because I'll tell you my little tics about it when I tell you about the story. Just know that I'm not asking for you guys to say you're such a good person. I'm not asking for that at all. I just feel like I need to talk about this story because on how unusual it was, and for anyone who's experienced this or even may experience in the future past, maybe it'll help you better handle a possibility you could save someone's life. So, alright, let's get started. Let me try to remember all. I didn't even write this down. So this is going to be interesting. If I backtrack a little bit, please forgive me. I just didn't want to write it down because I didn't even sure if I was going to put this video up. Alright, so as you read in the description, I helped a kidnap victim. For those who do not know, I am also schizoaffective, and that will play into this story a little bit too. So, Thursday night, so last week for me, so today is February 5th when I'm filming this video. I went to pick up Zach from work. He was working a 1 to 10. He works at Walmart. We were driving home on this main road, and it's pitch dark. There's no lights on these roads. I'm not going to say the street because the girl has to protect her own privacy. But we were behind this Pizza Hut car. We're driving. We're almost to the main set of lights that leads us to the next part, the major part of the road. And we're passing this U-Haul station, and all of a sudden the Pizza Hut guy stops and brakes right away, and we're like close behind him, so we brake right away too. And we see this woman coming out of the woods waving her arms like this. She's fully dressed, has a scarf on, is carrying a bag. This is all important. Try to remember this throughout the story, by the way. And she stops the guy and goes to his passenger door, I think that's what it's called, passenger front door. And he rolls it down just a tiny bit, obviously, because that's what you should do if someone's approaching your car. Never roll it down enough where they can get their hands through, ever. Don't do that. A lot of people are crazy nowadays. And this is known, by the way, as a meth area where I'm at, where I just parked. It's known for a meth. That's why you have to be even more careful in this area. He pulls over. There's some light because of the U-Haul area. We couldn't hear what she was saying, but she was freaking out. She was like moving her hands around like this, and we couldn't hear her. We rolled down our windows fully at that part because we were far away enough to be comfortable where we could roll it up. She starts walking towards the car, but we're trying to hear her because if something were to happen to this guy in the Pizza Hut car, we want to make sure we're witness to it so we can call the police, tell them exactly what happened, the license plate, what the woman looked like. We wanted to be alert to make sure that the guy was okay, or if the girl was okay, because you don't know if that Pizza Hut guy was a little crazy himself. But he just drives off. He doesn't, after like not even a full minute, he drives off. It felt like 2 minutes, or even 5 minutes for us, but I'm pretty sure it was less than a minute. He just drives off, and she's like, he starts walking to my driver's side. I pull up the window all the way to like a crack. Zach's telling me to be careful, be calm, because I am schizoaffective. Although I'm on the proper medications for my disorders, I still have a tendency of having a mood disorder episode, which is what I think is borderline because we're not sure what mood disorder I have quite yet, but we know for sure I have a mood disorder. But I'm almost positive it's borderline because I snap really fast compared to bipolar. But I do snap very easily if the situation comes to it. And when I'm in a car with my husband, who I'm trying to protect, I'm not worried about myself, by the way. I've always been a very strong woman, I like to believe. But I'm very, very, very protective of the people I care about. I've always been super protective to the point where even people get uncomfortable with me and they kind of like leave friendships with me. That's why I don't really have any friends. she's like, I need help. Can you please help me? She said something about her car was stolen. That's the first thing she said to me was, I need help. Help me. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm high. That's the first like couple of things she said to me. And I'm like, the moment she said that, I remembered that throughout the rest of the story. I was like, she said she's high. I don't know if it's on meth. I don't know if it's on weed. I don't know if it's something else. Because, one, for sure, I don't know about drugs very well. When you're high, I think weed immediately. But Zach, who was dumb in his younger times, his younger teens, he said it could mean multiple different drugs. You're high on something. It could mean anything. I think it was meth, but he doesn't think so. But we have two different outlooks on this situation. Anyway, she's like, I need help. I need to use someone's cell phone. All my cell phones are dead. So she said cell phone. She means she had more than one. She did mention a couple different ones when she was talking to us at one point. I don't remember what she said. One was an iPhone, and then she said something about a Galaxy. So maybe she had two cell phones for any particular reason. I'm not sure. But they were all dead. She said, I need to go hold of my mom. I need to get a hold of my mom. And then she said, my car has been stolen. I have been kidnapped. And right then and there, I'm like, okay, time to be serious. Because at first she was kind of trying to get her fingers through the little crack that I had. And she's like, I need to get it. And I was just like, ma'am. And Zach was like tugging, he put his hand on my thigh. He was like putting pressure on my thigh to remind me to calm down. Because if I get too angry, I get really aggressive. Not like I'm gonna punch you in the face, but I get really aggressive, and my borderline episodes can be really mean to people if they get me to that level. Normally people don't. I know how to control it sometimes, or I walk away, but if I'm stuck in a car trying to protect my husband and you're at my window, who knows what's gonna happen. I might get very scary very quickly. She's like, I just need to get in, please let me in. It's really cold outside, and it was like 30 degrees out. It was supposed to snow like the Tuesday past that, or Tuesday before then, so it was like, I want to say 35 to 36 degrees outside. I said, ma'am, I don't feel comfortable with letting a stranger in my car. And I had to repeat that like 5 times louder and louder each time. I was like, I don't feel comfortable with letting a stranger in my car. She was like, I just need help. Please let me help. And then she goes on to Zach's side of the car, because he's not the driver. I've always been the driver. And he rolls his crack a little bit too. She's like, please, I need help. And she's like, I just need to call my mom. And he's like, how were you kidnapped? How was your car stolen? She started explaining and saying, there was this guy she had met, I think she said at a party or her friend's house or something along those lines, like a week or two back. And they're just not good guys. That's how she described it. Just not good guys. She said he stole her car and then he got arrested and she got her car back. But she had to borrow money from her friend to get her car back. He was arrested. There was a case file on him. She had a specific cop she was talking to, and she didn't want us to call the cops because she wanted the case file and the cop's name before we called the cops. Now, normally, just so you know, if you call the cops, they're not going to ask for case files. They're not going to send a specific cop to you. They send whoever is nearest to you for situations because they try to stop the emergency. They're trying to get to the emergency as soon as possible to help what's going on. Either way, he got out of jail. He made bond, is that how you say it? Made bond? Or break bond? He made bond or something like that. And she was back at her friend's house hanging out with her friends, and these guys showed up and that guy showed up, and they abducted her and stole her car. And I don't want to say this, it's part of the story. She claimed she was raped, but when she said it to us, she didn't seem at all, the way she said it didn't seem right to me. I am not a detective. I am not a cop. I've not studied by college course or schoolwork, but I have studied research work via doing true crime stories on YouTube for Between Monsters and Men, that's one of my channels. So I do a lot of research on serial killers and abductions and stuff like that. And I've grown up reading and watching this stuff, and I wanted to go into detective work and stuff like that. So I kind of have, I'm not saying I have knowledge, I'm saying I have amateur knowledge on what to look for and how some lies kind of twist or stories kind of twist. Anyway, she said that she was kidnapped like the night before. I'm trying to make sure I remember correctly. And she escaped. Don't know how she escaped. She didn't explain that. She just said she escaped and ran through the woods, and they were chasing her through the woods. And she finally made it to the street where we found her. And she said, please just let me get a hold of my mom. So Zach says, I'll let you call her, but I'm holding the phone and I'll put her on speaker because I told him, do not give her that phone because I'm very suspicious. And he calls the number. He has all the numbers on his phone. I'm not going to show you the numbers though. That's just invasive of privacy. We can't get a hold of her mom, so she tells us to call her aunt. So we call her aunt, and she says, I need you to get a hold of my mom. Give us the number for her cell phone, because I guess we called her home phone, because that's what she said. And she did. She gave us the number to text. We text the number, and then she told us to call her boyfriend, who was a Marine. And so we called him. He didn't answer, so sent him a text saying, hey, your girlfriend is going through this. She gave us her name. I'm not going to say her name. If you heard those noises, my dad's working in the basement. I'm so sorry. So we did all that, and while we were texting, I was texting him from my phone. Her mom calls us back. I guess her aunt gave her our number. She calls us, and the woman, the kidnap victim, was explaining like, Mom, I was hanging out at this girl's house. I'm like, I said the girl's name. I don't even remember actually. And that one guy, he's bad news. They're all bad people. This is exactly how she was saying this. She wasn't saying like, hey, I need help. She wasn't saying any of this. Well, my phone's dead, and my car was stolen again, and Mom, I was kidnapped. And she's like started talking about other things, like really, and she's like, Mom, I need the case file and the police officer's name. Her mom's like, okay. She sounded like very calm. Like she said she just woke up. She sounded very calm, but even after her daughter said, I've been kidnapped, my car was stolen, she didn't seem at all like, oh my God, are you okay? She didn't ask that. She says, okay, I'll go get it. Just hold on. Like, very, very casual, which to me sounds like this is something normal for her daughter. That just threw me off, because when her mom went away to put us on hold, the girl puts her hand over, somehow got her hand into the freaking window, puts her hand over the phone and says, she's only acting calm because she's a doctor and she sees a lot of crazy things. And she says it exactly like that with rolling her eyes. And I'm like, that is a little strange that you're saying it like that. You should be concerned that your mother is not showing an effect. Why are you... Something seemed really off. That's why I kind of want to talk this story out, because this is also kind of a warning story. If you see someone acting a little strange, put your guard up. So, by the way, while she was talking to her aunt, she also had us on hold to get her mother's number, the phone number, cell phone number. And she, again, kind of like, very quiet, she's like, I don't want to tell her this, but I was raped, and I just don't want her to know because she'll go crazy. She said it like that. That's why when she said the rape story, I've never been raped, but I've known people who have been, and every time they bring it up, they show a sense of emotion that's different from a normal casual conversation. You can see a difference in the conversation, like, oh yeah, well, it's something different. It's just a little bit different. Well, she didn't show any of it. She was like, I was raped, and I just don't want her to tell her. And it was like, so I'm not saying she wasn't. It was just unusual, the way she brought herself upon that. She did have dry blood on her nose, like right here. And she had a wound in her eye. It was this eye. She had like a little circle in her eye. But there was no bruising around her eye. She didn't have any makeup on. So the damage that was caused by that eye, or to that eye, was obviously a couple of weeks ago. And the wound around her eye had healed, and the eye is still in the process. Her story seems a little off to me, because if you're kidnapped, usually they hit you, or they chloroform you, or something like that, to get you into the car. You don't just get pulled all the time. You're showing damage. If you're fighting, you're showing damage. And you're being kidnapped, you better fight. You need to fight. Unless you have a gun to your head, that's different. Or a knife to your throat. That's different. But she didn't seem at all... I don't know. Sorry about that. My card said it was full, so I had to delete some of the stuff. Hopefully I get this back proper. She did seem shaky, but it was really cold outside, so she seemed like she was shivering, or if she was on something. It wasn't like adrenaline. Like how when you have adrenaline, you're all about it. But she was like shaking her hands. And just something seemed odd about her movements. But after her mom came back and gave us the case number, and gave us the cop's name. I even have it still on my phone. I'm keeping it for like a month, just in case for some random reason the cops come back and need more information from me. I said, okay, fine. I'll let you in the car, but you need to sit in the back seat with my husband directly behind me, And there was a gas station less than 30 seconds away from me. So I wasn't too concerned because I've been trained how to defend myself. My husband's been trained how to defend himself. And he's been trained by a Marine himself. His father's Marine. So he knows something. And I fought, I'm not saying I can defend myself. I'm saying I fought against military friends of mine and I put up a fight against them. I'm not saying that to like boast, but I kind of am. I'm proud of myself. But I said, okay, fine. So the woman gets in the back seat. Zach hands her over the phone because she's now officially in the car. I locked the car doors. Mainly because I didn't want her running off with the phone. I probably shouldn't have done that just in case, but I did because, again, I didn't want to run her off with her stuff. I had Zach directly behind me because if she were to pull a knife or something, he could quickly, like, reaction to it. And he was prepared for it. He knew exactly why I said that. He even said, don't worry, I got this. So he was ready, like, had his hands at his sides prepared just in case something were to happen. So we drove up to the gas station, and I drive all the way to the corner. In the corner, you have the two street names right here at the corner, so I had information ready for me for the cops because I'm very forgetful about street names around this area. I remember roads via photo memory, not via names. So when I explain, like, what's this street? Or someone tried to ask me what street, I'm like, I don't know, let's go down here. So, I drive there. I said, stay in the car, I'm calling the cops. But she was like hesitant to let me out. She was like, apparently, well, I was calling the cops. I'm going to explain this first about Zach's point of view. He said, she kept asking, what's she going to say? What's she going to say to the cops? It's like she was asking those type of questions. Like, what does it matter? You were kidnapped. We need to get the cops here so you can be safe. We need to get the cops here so the guy who kidnapped you can be found. But she was like, what is she going to say? I don't want her to say anything in particular. I was like, why does it matter? We need to get the cops here. I called the cops while I'm outside. I wanted to stay outside so she couldn't have control of the situation. And called the cops. For some reason, I got dispatched from a different county. And I was resent to a different county after explaining my entire story. And the cops say, okay, well, there should be a cop right nearby. And I look around, I don't see any cops. Zach said, well, he was in the car, he saw two cars going by like two different directions. I said, I didn't see any cops because I was facing the gas station. I was like, I don't see any cops. He's like, okay, well, we're getting them in, don't worry, just stay on the phone with me. I was like, okay. I was calm because I wasn't the one kidnapped. I'm very calm. I'm not worried. If a guy comes up to me, I know how to defend myself. I'm very, very calm about these type of situations. So cops come within a minute. I've never seen a cops come for any situation I've ever experienced that quickly, ever. And I've had a couple of situations where cops needed to come to a situation. Never in my life that quickly, ever. And I know why. I'm sorry for the brawl. This is supposed to be sitting here. It's because this is a kidnap victim. Just last month, this last month, a girl in Wisconsin named Jamie, I don't remember her last name, forgive me, I'll put her last name here if I find it. She just escaped an abduction also, and she was found alive, and she was a miracle and everything like that. So everyone's on edge for kidnap victims currently because it's that time period probably wasn't within a month. So they get there quickly. I mean quick. 5 cars all at the same time, pulling around us, like surrounding us in my car. It was so strange. It was an experience. It wasn't a scary experience, it was just an experience. Now, by then, I'm like freezing cold. It's 35 degrees out. I'm not good with cold. I was born in Wisconsin, moved to Florida, was used to the heat. So I go up to the cop. I explain to him again what happened. Kidnap victim, she says this, she says that. She also says she was high. But he even says she seems to be acting a little strange. He said, okay. She comes out of the car with my husband. And I really didn't hear the conversation she had with the cop. He said, just go back inside the car because he knows I was shivering a lot by then. But I didn't. I went to my husband who was talking to a different set of cops over there. I want to say over there because it was close, but it wasn't close enough for me to hear the conversation between the girl and the cop when I went over there. So I went over there and I talked to the cop over there and explained the entire situation again. I said to him, like, she seems a little high, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll keep that in mind. And I explained the situation. I said, it just seemed a little odd to me. I said I didn't want to let her in the car right away because obviously there's a lot of dangerous. You can't trust anyone nowadays. You just can't trust anyone nowadays. You can't even trust a kid half the time nowadays. Not saying you should stop. You should still cop car and check things out, but be prepared. Be extremely prepared. Even the cop says, like, you did a good thing, but you did it right. You took your precautions right. And I was glad to hear that. Like, glad I took the steps I needed to take, because I felt like, did I not be careful enough? You know, you always question those things when the situations are happening. We had 2 cops by us by then. They took our IDs, took our story. They took our phone numbers, and they took pictures of the phone numbers that Zach had on his phone that the woman called. And she even texted, I guess, in the car when he was in the car with her while I was calling the cops. They took the case file and the cop's name. They didn't sound like they recognized the cop's name when I said it to them, because I read off the numbers and everything like that. And they didn't seem like they recognized it. They didn't respond to it, so I don't know if they recognized it or not. It was funny, because all of a sudden we turn around, because one of the cops is talking to us, turned around and was like, oh, well, okay. He said that, and we looked over, and we see the girl walking away from the cops and heading to the gas station. We just summed it up. Maybe she's just really cold, and she wants to go to the gas station to warm up. But if she's really cold and she's a real kidnap victim, wouldn't you want to get her in the car to keep her safe? Like, just get in the car, we'll talk in the car, or just sit in the car, we'll discuss it while you're in the car talking, because that's what I normally see them do. But she just walked across the gas station, A-okay, doesn't seem fretting, doesn't seem worried, doesn't have any cops around her. She just goes over there. Like, if I was kidnapped, I would want to be in a cop car, was surrounded by cops. I don't want to be walking across the gas station I'm unfamiliar with after apparently just running away through the woods nearby from kidnappers. You don't know if they're right around the corner. If that gas station is less than 30 seconds away for a drive, it's less than 5 minutes away if they're looking for you, and they're going to think you're going to a populated area. At least that's what normal kidnap people would want to do, is go to a populated area to be surrounded by people so they have protection. But she didn't seem at all bothered. She just casually walked away. We saw the 3 of the cop cars park by the gas station, and that was it. I couldn't hear anything from there. I didn't know what happened after that. They took our IDs, wrote the stuff down, and they said that if they needed any more information, they'll come find us and get the information from us. But that was literally it. That's all that happened. Nothing else happened. We didn't hear anything about anything. But that was my experience for helping a kidnapped victim. I have no idea if she was kidnapped. If you were to ask me right now if I really thought she was kidnapped, I would say no. I don't want to be mean like that. But just the way she responded, the way she told us, no, don't call the cops. She said that a couple of times before. She said, let me get the case files. She said, no, don't call the cops. And I'm like thinking, why the fuck not? If you just ran through the woods to escape kidnappers, you'd want some cops there quickly. Like, get them here now. But she didn't want that. I'm thinking that she was on something. Maybe it was experiencing some hallucinations or delusions, or there was a fight and she wanted to exaggerate the fight so she could get in a car, or she just wanted to get in a car and go somewhere else. It didn't seem right. And I know, I never experienced a kidnapped victim firsthand. This is the first one ever. This is, wow. I was never kidnapped, so that didn't seem right. I don't want to say that everyone responds differently, because you know when people respond to grief, they respond in their own different ways. But just the way she responded, it throws me off completely. Like, you don't want me to call the cops? You're not acting like you're scared? She wasn't acting. She didn't even come up to like how that Jamie girl, who was a fighter who really escaped. She said, I'm Jamie so-and-so, I was just kidnapped, please help me. This girl first said, my car was stolen, I'm high. Didn't even give us her name until much later on. It just didn't seem right. So that is my story. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put it up, but now that I've said it, I feel like it's okay. I didn't give any information that could really bother anything. But it is a true story. It happened to me last year. I'm still blown away by it. Like, seriously, I just read about that Jamie case right when it happened. I'm thinking in my life, like, what would I do if something like this happened to me? And then something like this happens to me a month later. Like, what? But at the same time, it's like, usually you get a feeling when you help someone, like, yeah, I helped someone. I really helped someone. I feel great. There's that bit in my mind, like, thinking, I don't have a feeling that I helped you. I have a feeling that you lied about something, or you lied about this entire thing. So, warning, just when someone's running out to your car, keep it a crack open. Don't let their hands get inside. Don't let them take your phone. If you just get that bad feeling that something's wrong, drive away. Get out of there. Call the cops shortly after. If you want, drive away into another environment. Keep an eye on them. Make sure they can't see you and call the cops so you can keep an eye on them and make sure they're not doing something wrong to someone else. So you can be a witness. That's what I would have done, but Zach's like, so stay here, let's make sure she's okay. I, on the other hand, was on the defense. Not like I was going to drive away, but I was on the defense. I was prepared to go. Apparently, the cop did say that, we were talking to afterwards, that the Pizza Hut guy did call the cops, and that's why they were driving around in that area, and probably why they got there so quickly. That they were looking for her. I didn't want praise. I just want awareness. If a situation comes around and you're scared to act, there are different steps you can do to help a situation or to keep away from a situation. If you still want to help the person but you don't feel comfortable, like I said, drive somewhere away where you notice they didn't pay attention to where you went. Call cops from there. Say, I'm keeping an eye on them. You might want to hurry because I don't know if they'll disappear into so-and-so. If you see someone stopped and they pulled over and someone's talking to them, you should keep an eye out just to make sure that that person isn't hurt, so you're a witness and you can protect that person too in the name of that person, because if I drove away, who knows, that girl could have put out a gun and shot that guy. I just want awareness. You can save a life, but always be careful or save yours too. So I hope you guys like this. I really hope you guys didn't like this. I hope if she was kidnapped, I hope she's safe now. I hope she's getting, if she wasn't kidnapped, there's something wrong with her, I hope she's getting the care she needs. I hope the cops didn't think I was wasting their time because of that. I hope you guys have a good day. Like, comment, and subscribe.